Welcome to ThoughtsNaGlass podcast. I'm LaToya.
And I'm Kendra, stuck in the closet.
And this is a weekly podcast where we share our unfiltered thoughts and opinions on a variety of topics.
So sit back, relax, and join us on a conversation of real, raw, and ridiculously funny commentary.
Period. Every week we do a drink of the night. Kendra, what's the drink tonight?
So tonight's drink is called the Spiked Cranberry Whiskey Sour. Y'all know I love me a whiskey sour. Don't I? Indubitably. So this one is a little bit more integral. We use this recipe from this lady on TikTok. To create your spiked cranberry syrup, you're going to do in a pan over medium to high heat. 1/2 cup of water, 1/2 cup of sugar, a cup of fresh cranberries, 1 stick of cinnamon, 1 whole star. What is it?
Anise.
Anise, thank you. And then 1 teaspoon of your lemon zest. So you're gonna put that over the stove, let that come to a boil, and then you'll strain it to be able to get your syrup. And so to make your whiskey sour, you're going to do 2 ounces of your favorite bourbon or whiskey. You'll do 1 ounce of fresh lemon juice, 1 ounce of your spiked cranberry syrup, a 1/2 ounce cranberry juice, 1 to 2 dashes of orange bitters, and this is optional, 1 to 2 tablespoons of egg whites. You're going to put all of that in your shaker, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake it. You can either have it straight up like that or on the rocks. And you garnish it with fresh cranberry juice, rosemary flake, or orange slices.
Cheers.
Now, let me tell you something. I myself love a whiskey sour. That's my go-to.
I know. I was thinking about what's my go-to drink.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably now espresso martini just because alcohol makes me sleepy. So I need that
Mm-hmm.
caffeine to balance that out.
Wake you up, yeah.
But I think if I'm just going off of what I like, I hate to sound cliche, it's probably a margarita.
Yeah, that too. I can do a whiskey sour or a margarita, depending on if I want a bourbon or a tequila.
Yeah. All right. I feel like we got a lot to really get into. It's so much to talk about, so little time, is how I feel.
Exactly.
But maybe I'm wrong.
You're never wrong.
So we didn't really pick a holiday movie, but I know I watched a couple. I know you watched a couple.
Yes.
So I'll go first. I watched a movie on Prime called Genie. Now this one isn't new.
Yeah.
I think it came out last year. With Melissa McCarthy and the black guy that's in it. I don't know his name off the top of my head, but he played in another series that I watched on Tubi. It was a sci-fi series. And the girl, I don't know if you watched The Gilded Age. Me and Sydney watched it. And if any of y'all watched The Gilded Age, the black girl that was one of the main characters, Peggy from The Gilded Age, she's in this. I thought it was the cutest thing. And so the thing I liked about this movie compared to the movies we watched last week was I think because it was a movie that was made specifically for Prime, because they had a little bit of a budget, and the acting was really good because there was a little girl in the movie too, but even her acting was a little bit better than the ones we watched last week. I think that's what made the movie
do not pay your next card
better. Because I just felt like, yes, it was a corny story. Yes, it was kind of what we look for in these Christmas movies. Like, we already know what's going to happen. You know, he gets what he wished for at the end of the day. All of that. But
it's
it was
like,
just,
what's the one, The Christmas Carol?
Yeah,
Every time you hear an bell ring, an angel gets its
exactly. But it felt good to watch it. I think because the acting was on par. And maybe because they had more of a budget to make the movie, it was something that I could just sit back and watch and enjoy it. And I didn't really have too many like cringy moments of like, oh God, here we go.
Yeah.
So I recommend that one. I just thought it was so cute. And maybe you just have to be in a certain mood. Like maybe if I watched it, like maybe because it was Thanksgiving weekend this past weekend, I was in the mood. starting to put my decorations up. Maybe all of those things kind of
Yeah.
played into why I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like maybe if I was not in that mood, if I was in a different mode, I might be a little bit more critical. But
Yeah.
I thought it was super cute. I really liked it. And I would recommend.
Mm-hmm.
Then I also got a chance to watch the Jingle Bell Heist on Netflix. That one did come out this year. I also would recommend. Now, it was a little bit more cheesy than the Genie movie,
Mm-hmm.
but I still liked it. And it's a UK movie. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's like some it takes place in the UK. It's
Mm-hmm.
mostly UK actors, but then there is one American or a couple of American actors. So this movie stars Olivia Holt, who was in, I don't know if y'all ever watched Sword and what was that thing called? Sword and Shadow?
I don't know.
Oh gosh, what was that thing called? It was really good. It was on Disney Plus. Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, that's okay.
So it stars the girl that was in that. And then if you ever watch Sex Education, also on Netflix,
Mm-hmm.
the guy that's in it, Connor, how you pronounce his last name? Connor Swindells. He played in Sex Education. He was like the bully the first episode, but it ended up being gay.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, but so those are the actors. That's what they're known
Mm-hmm.
for. But they come
Mm-hmm.
together in this Jingle Bell Heist movie, which I also thought this one was super cute. Now that we're watching these and critiquing them, I really think that it boils down to the acting, which that's a
Mm-hmm.
50-50. Because sometimes you have really good actors, but the
Mm-hmm.
movie still sucks.
Yeah.
So I think you have to have pretty decent actors. And I think you have to have somewhat of a decent budget to pull it off. Because when it comes to these Christmas movies, all of these stories are same old, same old. We know what's going to happen. At the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, you got to make the deadline, get
Right.
the toy before Christmas. In this particular case, they were trying to pull off the heist, before Christmas so he could be with his daughter and she
Yeah.
could help her mom with cancer. And we've seen it all before.
Yeah.
But I did think this one was pretty funny. It's like more of a comedy. Both of them
Mm-hmm.
were comedies. I would say these two, I had a lot less cringy. Like, when we were watching the other ones, you had those moments where you're just like,
Yes.
what the hell? I
Yes.
didn't have really any moments like that when I was watching these. So those were the holiday movies that I watched. And I would recommend both of them.
Yeah, I remember looking at Genie. I can't remember all of the parts, but I do agree. We have the same thoughts on that. But I haven't seen the Jingle Bell Heist. So that'd be something I watch. So for me, well, this weekend we went to the Gaylord for their ice show. And so the theme this year was Polar Express.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the boys watch Polar Express Saturday morning. So they
Was this
kind of
their
got
first
the
time
gist
seeing
of,
it?
yes, for both of them,
Okay.
actually, yes. And so I just wanted to kind of get, yeah, Josh, you don't care. He just saw the end. He was like, Christmas, mommy, they got Christmas on the TV. It's a tree and Santa Claus. That's what he thinks is Christmas. Hey, what are you going to do? So we watched that. We watched The Grinch on our way to, because we had to pick up the girls and do some other things. So
Mm-hmm.
I always love those to watch. One of the ones I also watched, and these are a little bit reminiscent stuff, so I don't have to really go through them, but into them. But I watched Home Alone. That kicks off
Okay.
also like my stuff, and I'm trying to also get Jonathan into stuff
The
that we watch.
classics.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
classics. And he was
Mm-hmm.
like, I said, you didn't think it was funny? He was like, the only part that was funny is when he fell down the steps. I said, out of that whole movie, that's the only thing you said that was funny. You and I
He
have a
might
lot.
be he might be similar to me. He may not like obnoxious humor.
He is obnoxious humor.
Oh, look. I mean, he is a little boy, so they do a lot of that falling down and they think
Just
everything is funny.
crazy
So
stuff.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised that he didn't find it funny.
That's what I'm saying. And so I was like, maybe I definitely think that Home Alone 2 is a little bit funnier
Yeah.
with the other actors, because like the family wasn't as funny, and it was really mostly a solo type of situation. Everybody else was kind of like pop-ins, but like
It's funnier now when I watch it as an adult than it was when I was, because it's a lot of like adult jokes in there that you don't catch when you're young. So maybe
yes,
that was the problem. Maybe he
yeah,
just was too young to catch the little jokes or whatever.
yeah, he just ought to be. I didn't know, and I saw this as a little uh, on topic, but a little off. I was watching Instagram and they were talking about how the Grinch when they're talking about the annual party that they have is a swingers party.
What? I gotta look at it again. What are they always trying to
No,
mess something
seriously,
up.
but it's a swingers party because if you look at them in the background, they're chasing after each other, right? And then that bowl where everybody puts their keys in. And the only reason I know this is because I've seen it on a different show. And everybody puts their keys in, and whoever's keys you take out is who you go home with.
I'm gonna have to look at that.
Yes, I was like,
I'm
it's how
gonna have
show
to
they.
look at that. But now it's starting to make sense because I'm vaguely remembering something where the mayor's wife was maybe mentioning how she might end up going home with the Grinch or something like that. I'm gonna have to look at it again because why would you do that? Why would you ruin that?
Because it's for the adults that, but it's a if you know, you know, and the fact that half of us don't know because that's not like a party that we would go
That makes
to.
it even more funny. I have
So,
to
because
look
she
that
was
up.
doing their annual holiday party, nobody realized he was outside for a very long time because he was
What
outside
was
in
so
the tree.
wait. What was he doing?
Because they brung him down in the balloon, like they say that the kids came with a stork on a balloon, and his balloon came down, got stuck in a tree outside the window of the freak off.
Oh, so he was watching it.
And then they was like, we didn't know he was out. He was out there for a long time because he came down during our annual Christmas party.
Okay, I'm gonna have to research that.
So I was telling Davon that because he had never. So I showed it to him, and he was like, because he saw them putting the keys in the bowl. He was like, oh, that's just so they don't drive home drunk. And I was like, no, this is a swingers party. That's why. And then when he saw them chasing, this old lady was chasing this other guy. And I know that wasn't the husband because that's one of the main characters. And we know who his wife is.
Right.
Girl, man. So anyway, I'm gonna try to get him to watch Home Alone too. I think he'll like that better. But two movies that so I have a bunch of movies that I'll watch just to kind of get me in that Christmas spirit. I think I
Mm-hmm.
mentioned before, and these are cheesy. These are PSA, PSA, PSA. These are cheesy Hallmark movies that just are feel good ish kind of movies. So one of
Right.
them is called A Christmas Princess, and it's
These
about
are YouTube.
so you can watch them on YouTube and these Hallmark movies, but you know they've
Mm-hmm.
been around for so long because I think this came out in 2022. So now some of those you could just watch on YouTube. But it's called A Christmas Princess. This is why it'd be like that don't make sense, but okay. But it's a black chef that is getting in the process of possibly losing her restaurant because it's super slow. And
Mm-hmm.
this prince comes out of nowhere and he's looking for a new person to host or cater the family Christmas party or whatever. And so they're having it in the States because he's from overseas. And so he comes and then he's like, I just want to find this person tonight. So he gets out of the car. Once he gets out of the car, he starts smelling meatloaf.
That's not far fetched. When my grandmother would cook dinner, you could smell it outside.
He goes into this restaurant. He's like, it's just this wonderful smell. And then it's meatloaf. But okay, anyway. And they kind of hit it off and she's showing him around and stuff like that. But anyway, so that's a cute little another one that I like is with Lacey. I cannot think of her name. Is that the one with Lacey? One of the ones that I like that I have Hallmark are the ones that have like multiple movies. So I think it's one like a little and it's Liddle
Oh,
Christmas.
Merry Little Christmas with Kelly
Yeah,
Rowland.
with Kelly Rowland is Merry Little something and a Merry Little
Mm-hmm.
Baby or something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
those are cute. So I have seen those. I do recommend those. I like Kelly Rowland in these movies. And then the other one that I like, hold on, I'm gonna tell you, and this also is on YouTube. This one is I haven't watched all of it, so I started watching it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
cute. It's Christmas with a Kiss. And so it's this lady who is in a big city, out looking for dates and stuff like that, but goes back to the hometown. This is an African American film. Goes back home to help the family, like the family carnival that they have every Christmas season.
Mm-hmm.
Meets a guy, she's on this streak of never, and this is what usually happens in these movies. You on a streak of never finding or never meeting someone. Then you go back to your hometown and you like somebody that you may start dating, but then you rekindle something with somebody from way back then. So it's
Mm.
basically that kind of story. So again, super cute. You're always hoping, especially they're beautiful actresses and you're hoping for them to have this whirlwind. See, this is the problem of my life. My life be trying. I be trying to set my life up like a Hallmark movie, and baby, it
Mm-hmm.
don't set that way.
I mean, what how, you already have somebody, so how would you? What? How? I don't. I'm confused.
I mean, and like that. Not that relationship necessarily the relationship part, but like when you've gone somewhere, everybody kind of knows you. Like, there's no, oh, we're all getting together to go to the.
Oh, okay, okay. I mean, you don't really like people like that. So
But I feel like if it was
you
a,
don't want to live somewhere where everybody knows your name. You're gonna be
I
irritated.
so you know what? I would like to live somewhere like that because then you kind of know who people are. Once I know who you are, I'm cool. If it's too
I
many
see that, but I
people,
also see you being irritated because everybody knows who you are and they know your business, and you're gonna be like, mind your business. And it's like it's a small town. We all know each other's business.
yes, but I want Christmas time where nobody cares about the business. We all going to the Mistletoe Cafe to get cookies because they only come out at Christmas time.
I think you could create that. I feel
It's
like
too much. And I know you can because you have these shows, I mean, these movies that's like based out of Chicago or New York,
yeah.
where it is kind of like a lot going on. But I just really like it when it's like they go back to like their hometown, small town. And even with me being in a relationship, and let's say instead of his family living in Georgia, they lived in Denver.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we went to Denver, and like, oh, every year we have the Cocoa, Express, da 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 da. And it's like, oh, Kendra, are you gonna come? Are we gonna go pick out a tree? Because we're up there for now 2 weeks or a week, and we have to
But you
get the
could have that.
tree.
You could have that same experience in Georgia. It has to be a
But it's
winter
not.
town.
I need cold. I need snow. I need to be like,
Oh,
oh, I
okay,
have to
okay,
bundle
okay,
up. I need the full experience. I go to
okay.
Georgia. I just feel like it's spring.
I got it. I think you'll probably get it. I think Georgia has like. I think the town is small, meaning like it's not a whole lot of people. At least like
Yeah.
where his family is from, it's not a whole lot of people, so you can know everybody. You wouldn't have the atmosphere. But I feel like if you go up certain parts of like up north where it's cold at, I feel like it'd be a lot of people up there. So it don't, it's like they have the
I feel
atmosphere,
like
but then they don't have the environment.
if I go to like Denver, Colorado, to a small town within that area, and they're like, oh, on Main Street, they always have a blah blah blah. Let me find me a Main Street. I just want to be on Main Street.
Okay. They have it. Maybe like Annapolis could probably, have that.
Annapolis, yeah, like it would be like that, but then it's not snowy
But then
enough.
you didn't grow up in Annapolis, so you don't know
Right,
everybody. You would have to like
right,
move there, live there for a couple of years, and figure out who everybody is, and like be
right.
embedded in the community.
Yes.
I feel like I don't think it's gonna happen. We live in an area that's too metropolitan, and if it does happen, you got to create your little pocket. You know what I mean? You would have to start to get to know your neighbors and like his apartment complex or your neighborhood
Right,
where your house is. Have like a little core group of people, and then
right.
y'all do stuff
Yeah.
and see each other. And I don't know if we're willing to put in the work for that.
I don't know. I got enough work to do at work.
So you went to ICE.
Yeah,
How was
so it was really nice. It was just nice to get away. The kids really enjoyed themselves. The decorations were beautiful, as you could
you
see in the
stayed for the
video.
weekend?
We just stayed overnight. So we went Saturday and came home Sunday.
You only sent me one picture.
I know, but I'm gonna send you the full thing so you could put it so
Okay.
it could be up here. I just gotta string it all together. So we came in, and then of course the Gaylord is always decorated super nice.
Mm-hmm.
Where did we end up going? So we after we put our stuff down, downstairs they have like it's the Hallmark inside of the Gaylord.
I
Because
love
it's
that
like the
little
look,
area that they have down there. It's super
yeah,
cute. Yeah.
it's super cute. So we took a few pictures there, and then I which I know I need to stop and figure out something else to drink or just deal with a good caffeine situation. And I was like, I need a little tall coffee. First of all, I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
And so we stopped. They had a Starbucks there, so I went to Starbucks. And just kind of, we chilled out and then realized it was getting late. And the more people start checking in, the more the harbor gets crowded.
Mm-hmm.
And also because the last time, not last year, but the year before last, the first time my mom did this, I met them up there. We went to Cadillac Ranch. And so that's where Janae likes to go because she's like, I want my wings. She just looks forward to this little time.
Yeah.
So I went up there, we went across the street, and it was like a 45-minute wait. So we just put our name down, and I was like, well, we'll know when to go back. So we just kind of walked around, took pictures, stuff like that. Went to Cadillac Ranch, had dinner. Devon ended up Ubering to us because he was tired. He had been up. So went to the Gaylord. That was fun. Ice was really nice. This was mine and the boys' first time. The
Okay.
girl and Devon had been before, but he was like, he remembers it being actually longer than it was. So
Well,
that was
each
like,
year is a different theme. So I think some of
yes,
the themes you
have
have more to
more.
work with, and
Yeah.
some of them it's not a whole lot to work
Uh-huh.
with.
But I will say the artistry and the sculpting of these things, like, they sculpt the whole like train, the seats, and it goes through the whole story of Polar Express.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a couple of chairs that you can sit in, and they have the girl. I can't wait till y'all see this video of Joshua sliding down this slide. We have
Oh, he
one
went down
video
the slide.
because there was a small one for him, and then like big kids one. Child one, the first time he went down regular, fine. The next time he tried to do it himself. Now the coat is bigger than him. So all you see is coat, coat, coat. Not even no hands under. You see a little bit of his little legs. So he walking up and he trying to sit down, but sits down at an angle. Child, the man trying to catch him, a child coming down all sideways. His face was like this until he slid out and then he started laughing. It was so funny. So they had a good time. When he did that a couple times. And then the boys, because my nephew ended up meeting us there, they were enjoying the slides. I think the girls did it once, but they're like, oh, it's cold. Y'all know, yeah, this your third year here. You cold. Why you
Yeah,
wearing leggings?
yeah.
So, you couldn't tell the boys nothing. They had a good time. And then at the end, which was really nice, they had the manger scene with
Oh, the nativity scene.
the nativity scene. Thank you. With the three wise men, camels, and then so the whole nativity scene was here, and then behind you was a beautiful sculpture of an angel.
Oh, wow.
It was so nice. So again, y'all, this should be all up here in the video. Should be. And then we went out, and then Jonathan, he was like, "Can we get hot chocolate? We get hot chocolate." And when I tasted mine, I was like, "Ugh, ugh, yuck,
What was wrong with
disgusting."
it?
It was watery, and so their mom was like, "Yes, about right." So when he had his, he was like, "What I thought," and like this, and so I'm like, "Mine's is watery." He's like, "Oh, well, mine's not watery." And Jonathan was like, "Well, mine's not." I said, "You like it, Jonathan?" He's like, "Yes." He's like, "Mine's not watery." Both of theirs taste like lukewarm hot chocolate, but like regular hot. Mine tasted like they was at the end of that bag.
So you got hot water with the remnants of chocolate.
Okay,
Needed to stir that. Maybe everything was at the bottom.
wasn't nobody else stuff at that floating at the bottom. So he was like, because even when Jonathan got to the bottom, he was like,
I would have went back for it because I know that hot chocolate was about $6. I would have been like,
I know I would have, but I'm thinking when he says, "Oh, it was like what I thought," I'm kind of like, well, maybe this. And then but we were already kind of like out, and I
mm-hmm.
was like, I was at that point, I was kind of over it, and I was like, it's cold, and now I'm getting tired. And then my mother's hounding me because so we went to the Gaylord, and my bonus sister, her friend or her really close friend works at Marriott, so mom was able to get the friends and family
Mm-hmm.
thing. So she booked our rooms, but with that, it comes with 2 complimentary cocktails.
Oh, okay.
So mother was like, "Are you gonna drink your cocktails? You gonna come meet me for cocktails?" And I'm like, "I want to be in the. I'm old. I want to be in the bed.
Oh, now you old.
And I've been trying to be a young tender, y'all.
When you want
Tender
to lay
resident.
down, when you want to close your eyes,
I
now you
wanna
old.
go lay
When I say
down.
it, you not old.
I wanna go lay down." So we went upstairs. What did I do? Oh, I took the boys to the pool after the ice show, and the girls ended up coming there like maybe I'd say maybe like 15 minutes after we were already down there. The pool wasn't open for too much longer after they came down. So first Josh didn't want to get in. Then his sisters came. And then he was like, all right, I'm going to get in. And then he realized the water was warm. So then he didn't want to get out. So we did that for a little bit. And then came upstairs. Everybody took their baths and stuff. So we're trying to put the boys down so we can go down for these cocktails. And I'm like, the longer I sit here, baby, I'm going to bed. So I got myself dressed. My mother's like, well, I'm downstairs having a glass of wine or whatever she was having. So I met with her, she and Janae. And then later on, Davon came down. So they went and got pizza. I went and got pizza, but I took mine upstairs because y'all was, don't forget my pizza. I want pepperoni. So
I thought they was supposed to be asleep.
Took him his hot pepperoni. He sure enough got his butt up and was tearing that food up. But I ain't make it back downstairs. So by the time he finished eating, and I was like, hopefully by the time I finish eating my little pizza, they be done. So I don't have to go back downstairs. That's exactly what happened. So, but I got up.
So who got the other complimentary cocktail?
Davon did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you could either do a glass of wine, beer, or one of their holiday the drink of the day, the holiday drink of the day. So he did that, and that was it. And we called it a night. So I'm always up early, anyway. So I kind of let them sleep in and went downstairs and got a cup of coffee. And then my mom met me downstairs, and we both had a cup of coffee. And she brought some pound cake that she had made over Thanksgiving. So then we had that, and then by that time he was like, "Look, basically it's time to go because I'm hungry."
How was Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was nice. We went to his granddad's house, so that was nice. And then we went to my parents' house. Very low key. It was nice. Only have had to make sides because usually we do also the full Thanksgiving meal situation, and so this time we didn't have to do all that. So that was nice. So I didn't feel exhausted. But it's also like you on a time constraint because my parents didn't have dinner until 5. But I needed to be finished all my stuff by 1 to be at his grandparents' house and da. So it was cool. How about you? How did you enjoy Thanksgiving?
It was good. I didn't do anything as usual. I mean, like as far as cooking. I had planned to make, so Chris had bought some sweet potatoes because he was going to do like sweet potato bars, like a riff on sweet potato pie, but just like bars with a little crust. And I want to say around on Tuesday, the week of Thanksgiving, on Tuesday, I had checked in with him like, hey, you gonna make your bars? He was like, I don't know. I had planned on making it and I bought all the stuff, but I'm not feeling it. So I said, well, if you don't make the bars, I'll go ahead and make like the regular sweet potatoes and we can take it to my aunt's house because he had already bought the stuff. So he said, okay, fine. I go to work Wednesday, come home, and that's how I know I see the sweet potatoes cooked and peeled and chopped up sitting on the counter. I had gone to the grocery store to just get a couple of things. I had made grilled cheese and tomato soup Wednesday because I was like, Thanksgiving tomorrow. We're not doing a whole lot, but I just want a little something. So I went to the grocery store to pick up the stuff for that. In my mind thinking, well, I already have everything I need for the sweet potatoes. So all I got to do is go home and make it. Get home, you done cooked them and peeled them and they cut up. And I'm like, what's happening? I thought, I was going to make it. He was like, oh, when you said that, I didn't think you were serious. I thought you were just saying that. And I decided to make the bars. And I'm like, well, that's fine because, it was yours to begin with, but you could have communicated because I done had my little taste buds set.
Now you want your
and if I didn't know you was going to go ahead and make it, I would have just picked up a few more sweet potatoes while I was right there at the store. And so then he's like, oh, I didn't know you was going to the store. Well, I didn't know you was going to cook. Last time we talked, the agreement was I could have the sweet potatoes and make the sweet potato casserole. You wasn't going to make your bars. You said you wasn't feeling it. But he ended up staying home from work Wednesday. So I think because he didn't work, he was just sitting in the house. He had mustered up a little bit of energy. But so that was the only thing that I was kind of disappointed about because we didn't have any sweet potatoes. So my mom had made sweet potato pie. And she was like, well, since I'm making sweet potato pie, I'm not going to do the traditional dish. And my aunt, she had made everything else. So she was like, if that's something that you want, you're going to have to either make it or bring it or do whatever. Because I'm already doing turkey. She did turkey. She did brisket. She did lamb chops, ham, fried chicken, greens, mac and cheese, rice, potato salad. She even made a little pot of chitlins. So, which I don't eat, but some of my family
What
members
the
like it. So we made a little
chitterlings?
pie. Yeah. They like it. My grandmother used to make them. My family, they like them. So, but not everybody. So she just made a little pie. When I say a little pie, almost like a saucepan worth of
Mm-hmm.
chitlins. So anyway, I didn't get any sweet potatoes, but it's okay. I had sweet potato pie, and Chris did make his sweet potato bars, which turned out good. We ate on leftovers for a few days. Chris
Yeah.
actually, I don't know what crawled up his back, but he actually ended up making dinner Saturday. So we had food Thursday. We had leftovers Friday. Saturday, he had got up and made barbecue ribs with broccoli and cornbread.
Mm-hmm.
And then we heated up the leftover mac and cheese that we had brought back
Mm-hmm.
from my aunt's
Yeah.
house. But
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, what made you decide to do that? He was like, well, I had wanted ribs on Thanksgiving, but we
Oh, but
were
nobody
at
had
our
it
aunt's
on.
house and she didn't have that. So I still was like, let me just go ahead and make it to satisfy the craving. I said, I'm not complaining.
Okay.
Ate that right
Shouts
on
out
up.
to your taste buds.
Right. So Thanksgiving was nice. It was low key for us too. Everybody was kind of
Yes,
really
kind
doing
of
their
spread
own
out.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I was okay with that. I was
You know what
a
I don't? The hard thing sometimes now, though, when you are in, and I'm glad it's only two houses, thank the Lord. But you know how when it's like a multiple
mm-hmm.
house, I don't. This is not like a regular thing for me. So this now for the last, oh God, can you believe it's over 5 years, has
Wow.
been the you got to go here, and not just for like Thanksgiving. You doing it for Thanksgiving, you doing it for Christmas. If we decide like to do something for 4th of July, like it's all
Every
the
holiday.
every holiday. And then it's like now, because he has family in this, we have family in North Carolina, he has family in South Carolina, and family in Georgia. So like,
I think what ends up happening is you have to choose. I mean, you
yeah,
don't have to, but either you're going to be constantly splitting or you're going to have to choose. Like, luckily for me, Judah has a small family. It's just him,
yeah,
his mom, and his brother, right?
yeah,
So most of the time, they will come to my family
mm-hmm,
functions, right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But sometimes we'll choose. Like sometimes we'll be like, okay, this year for Father's Day, we're gonna go to his brother's house and
Yeah,
do a cookout or whatever. And I'm not, I won't be around my family for Father's Day. And it's just
yeah,
like next year I will,
yeah.
like
And we
sometimes
do,
it's not feasible to
yeah,
split
to
the
do
day.
both. Yeah, the we usually do. The only time it's a little bit more Thanksgiving, because the Thanksgiving really is a new thing for my family. We didn't always do. We used to do separate Thanksgivings,
Mm-hmm.
but then inevitably sometimes we would all end up for like uh dessert or just to have drinks and stuff. End up at my parents' house like kind of later on.
Mm-hmm.
But we always have done Christmas brunch. So we go over there for brunch, leave there, and then go to his parents' house for. So Christmas is a little bit easier, and then sometimes we'll come back for gifts and stuff. I think this year I'm just gonna probably be honest with them and be like, probably not making it back. It's no, I don't want to do the
Back and forth.
no.
There have been times with my family where we'll get together on Christmas Eve
And
because
that's what I said I
everybody's
was
got
going to
something going on
do.
Christmas Day. Or like this year, I only went to my aunt's house, but then I visited Monte the day after Thanksgiving and sat with her and had leftovers. Cause like sometimes it just be like, listen,
Yeah,
it's a holiday and you can't always get everything in on that one day. So like we
yeah,
have to make or do different things on different days. Like if I can't be with you for Thanksgiving, well, I'll come over the day after and we can still eat, we can still play games, we can still hang out, but like
mhm,
I'm not about to run myself ragged
yeah.
trying to get to everybody's house on a specific day.
Yeah, we used to do so. My grandmother and her sisters, they used to have a holiday. So like my grandmother would have the Sunday before Thanksgiving. I think my aunt Cat had like 4th of July. I think Aunt Ruby had Easter, and let's say my aunt Cat had New Year, something like that. We did just split the holiday, and that way, because we would do the Sunday before Thanksgiving. Because again, if all of your cousins are married and most of them were women, you have too many things, and you want to have your own stuff at your own house. So I was talking to Davon. I was like, when we get another house, a larger house, I would like to do something like that. Now with his mother, we kind of talked when we was visiting with her, and I was like, maybe either. the Sunday before, or maybe 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, we do our own like kind of Thanksgiving-ish type thing because I'm gonna tell you, I am not one for the holiday traffic.
Yeah. Nobody
I
really
don't
wants to
deal
be
with that.
traveling. I
Holiday
mean,
traffic and
people
holiday
do it, but
prices.
it's hard to travel around that time of year.
Yes. So we're talking about that and maybe making that our own kind of tradition. Even if we do something where it's in between, right? In between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then have like the weekend where we cook together and stuff like that. The kids can open up gifts, all of the things, and have our own like pre-Christmas, late Thanksgiving type thing. Um, so we'll see because it's too much trying to do stuff.
Yeah. So Thanksgiving was good. Saturday I did the winery, Robin Hill
Mm-hmm.
Winery small business Saturday vendor market.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really been doing the markets like that
Mm-hmm.
just because it's a lot on me, like lugging all the candles and doing all of
Yeah.
that. So, but I did because I like that market. I usually do well, and I did pretty good. It was cold Saturday, so I think that caused a lot of people
Girl.
not to really be out there like that. But it's still, for what it was, I did well. People really like the gift boxes. I had
Mm-hmm.
posted on my TikTok. I had did some little mini candles and put them in a box and did like a little gift set.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
people really like that. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Ruby came out to help me. Sydney and Chris came out to help me. So that was good. That made the time
That's
go by.
good.
So I wasn't just standing out there twiddling my thumbs.
Ooh la la around.
And so at the market, Ruby and I were talking because that was Saturday. So we're talking. And I was saying like, well, I know we were trying to go to the Boys My concert, but it didn't pan out. I've been looking at the tickets and looking at the tickets, and it was looking at anywhere from $250 in the 400 section, which
Yeah.
that's not
Crazy.
ministry. And to sit on the floor, it was like $800. No shade to Brandy and Monica, but these were Beyonce prices, and I was like, I can't fade it. Like, and
But I feel like
it
go
wasn't
ahead.
even that was their pricing of it. It was people reselling the tickets
I
at
was gonna
such
say
a
it's the
high
resale.
markup. So I was just like, girl, I'm gonna be sitting in the house watching it
Looking
on
at looking at the TikToks.
But Friday when I was chilling with Shantae, I was telling her, she asked me, like, are you going? I said, I don't think I'm going because I didn't get a chance to get a ticket. And now every time I look, prices were ridiculous. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
if you come up on something, let me know. But like at this point, I'll be watching it on TikTok. And I think it was really a blessing. And I feel like maybe I manifested, maybe closed mouths don't get fed, whatever the case may be. But she texted me Sunday at like 1 o'clock and was like, do you still want to go? I said, yes. She was like, one of my friends got an extra ticket. Somebody was supposed to go, but they dropped out. How much is the ticket? She told me the price. It was a decent price. I was like, I'm in there.
In there
I
somewhere.
I said, hold on. Let me take me a shower real quick. I'm in there. So I was up in the house. I wasn't even expecting to be. I had literally, when I tell you, me and Ruby was talking about it in a somber way, like, damn, we missed it. We just gonna have to watch it on YouTube. And next thing you know, they say everything could change in a moment.
Hello.
Okay. Because I was sitting up
Okay.
there, sitting up on the couch, rubbing my feet together in my little Christmas onesie, waiting. I was waiting to hear back from you. And when she texted me, I said, period. I'm about to go
Hold
take my
on,
shower right
you.
now.
I got to go. Yes.
And it was so good. It was so good. I'll do a quick-ish recap because I do feel like with stuff like this, everybody has probably already seen the videos. Like, what hasn't been said is how I feel in a way. But I'll just put my 2 cents on the show. I think one of the main things is this show was for a specific audience.
Mm-hmm.
If you like R&B, if you grew up listening to these artists, and now you're in a space in your life where you can still appreciate that music, this was the show for you. Because it was not a Beyonce type of production. It wasn't a Chris Brown type of production. But it wasn't about that. The audience is different. Chris Brown has new music that he's trying to promote. Beyonce has new music that she's trying to promote. They have new fans that they're trying to
add to that,
perform for and advertise to. Exactly. This was more of a nostalgia kind of thing.
Ooh, sign me up every time.
Yeah, this was more of a, I'm not trying to gain any fans. I'm speaking to my fan base. The people I'm performing to, they already know me.
Yeah.
It could have been karaoke. You know,
it's
like
a kickback.
Everybody was singing all the words to the songs.
Yes.
I mean, they all just did so good. So it started off with Maya, who did a great job. I was just like, dang. Okay, so one thing I'll say about all of them, so it was Maya, Kelly, of course, Brandy, and Monica. And there was some other guy in the very beginning that I didn't see his performance. I got there as his performance was wrapping up, so I can't speak on him. But one thing I'll say about the ladies is, for all of them to be 20 plus years into their careers, almost 30 years into their careers, their voices sounded so good. When I say Maya sounded almost exactly like the CD, that's saying a lot because they were doing this as teenagers. They were singing as teenagers. So to be in your mid 40s now, still hitting the same notes that you was hitting at 17, that is, people don't understand how much of a feat that is. Like how, you know, much you have to really take care of your voice and really still be, you know, very much so in your craft to bust out the same notes that you were busting out as a teenager.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that part, I noticed that immediately. All of them sound good. When Kelly sung her songs, she sounded so good. And then they weren't, people was like, oh, they're singing the tracks. They absolutely were not singing the tracks because Kelly, I'm pretty sure people have seen the clips where she had messed up and was singing a different part. So it's like if she was singing to a track, she wouldn't have been able to mess up.
Right.
And Maya was doing all kinds of runs and ad-libs that was not a part of the original song. So it's like you can't sing to a track and do all those different ad-libs. Talk to the audience and work the crowd. Same with Monica and Brandy. Like, I don't think, and if they were singing the tracks, I don't think they were because they had background singers on stage.
Right.
It to me, I didn't get that vibe. It sounded like they were actually singing in the mic. And Monica would stop in the middle of her song and start talking. So it's like, what track?
You're right. Right.
I did get a little emotional a little bit because
not you.
Okay, for two reasons. The first reason that I got emotional was because when Brandy was singing some of her songs, it just hit me like, damn, I was in high school, like I was in middle school. Like, just that realization of like
how fast time has gone.
Yes.
And
then I also had the realization that so Monica has toured, she's done concerts and things like that, but I've never seen her. And Brandy rarely goes on tour. And when she was touring, I was too young to afford to have my own money and go to concerts. I had never seen Brandy live before. And while I knew that going into it, actually seeing her, it kind of just like hit me. Like, this is somebody that I idolized growing up. And it's like, damn, I'm finally getting to see Brandy perform live. So I don't know. It just made me emotional a little bit. And then when they did their tribute to Whitney Houston, they did so good. And they played this little clip of Whitney and her moments with them. And something about, I think you could just feel their love for her. And it resonated with the audience because it made me a little emotional. So it was good. We had a time. I'm glad I went. I don't really have anything negative to say about it. No notes. I did notice I could really see now Brandy's anxiety. When it comes to the performing and the singing, I think she hides behind that because as long as she's singing and performing, you can't tell. But as soon as like Monica, she didn't have no problem talking to the crowd. How y'all feeling tonight? How y'all doing it? We wanted to bring y'all this show and blah, blah, blah. She hand the mic over to Brandy, you know, and Brandy be like, hey, we did that. We're here. And I was like, man, I never noticed. Like, she has spoken before about her anxiety, but I never noticed how kind of shy she really was. And I guess because whenever we see her talking, it's always she's speaking in front of a camera. Even though it's going out to millions of people, in that moment, she could probably feel comfortable because it's just her and the interviewer. But when she's having to speak in front of a bunch of people,
Yeah.
I think you see that anxiety. And I think it's interesting that a lot of performers have that anxiety. Like, you're on a stage performing in front of people, but yet when it comes to like just having a conversation, you're super anxious. And that's just interesting to me how some people, their anxiety wouldn't even let them get on the stage.
Right.
But it's like, you have anxiety, you can get on the stage and perform, maybe because that's what you're comfortable doing.
Yeah.
But then, okay, now have a conversation. You're like, I don't want to say anything.
Because what happens is when you're an artist, you're able to, it's just like an actor. This is a
Like a
version of me, but this is just the mask of me, right? I've sold the album. So these are the things I know you like, right? But I don't know if you would actually like who I am as a person. And I also don't want to be like, I don't mind you judging my craft because that's an opinion based, like that's on your own, however
Yeah.
you feel about it. Judging me as a person, I can understand that. And then I think for so long there have been media trained. So you
Yeah.
don't really know who they are. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if I think Beyonce, she was able to navigate it much better than other, I'll say maybe artists, where like
I don't
her,
think so. I think Beyonce, we don't never hear her talk no more. I think she has that social anxiety too. And I think she does the same thing. She hides behind the mask of performing.
I think
I
she
mean, as far as like
does.
in the media, I don't even think Beyonce handles the media well. She just don't engage.
Mm, I feel like
Like,
she
when
maybe
have we ever seen her come out and really talk about anything? Or if she does, if Beyonce does, it's very much orchestrated. It's okay. This is the statement that you're going to read. The camera's here. It's very. I feel
I
like
think,
it's still a
well, I guess
mask.
I mean, like, you see more of her showing up in her music, like her,
Oh, like she
not
shows her personality in her music.
in her music.
Okay,
I think Brandy still shows
the
like
image.
like
Like
she
this
wants
is
us
what the
to.
industry wants me to
Yes,
be. So this is what I
yes,
portray in my music.
yes,
I
yes,
get it.
yeah. That's what I mean. I think the same thing is for Monica. So that song is about what's his face is it locked up. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of, I'm gonna bust your windows out, and then when you see her talk on house whatever show, what was she on? I think she had her own show, whatever show she was on with uh, Toya and them, and she still has that same person. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind
Yeah,
of, and you see her going through the relationships and things like that. So you see more of her life. I don't have a lot of life with Brandy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like she don't. She tries not to show it
Yeah.
because she had clearly she's been through stuff. Clearly she's
Yes.
done stuff. But I think
Yes.
for whatever reason, whether it be the anxiety, whether it be the media training, whatever reason,
Yeah.
she works really hard not to show it. But I enjoyed the concert. The other thing I wanted to say was I didn't realize this, but Brandy is very modest.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were
Yes.
saying like, oh, she been like that. She never really showed skin. I didn't notice it. I thought maybe it was a 90s thing because I know in the
No,
90s,
she
like,
didn't.
we weren't really big on like showing a whole lot of skin. But when I seen her, both of them, but Monica, she have her moments where she will show a little skin. But
Yeah.
Brandy was like, I'm like, is she are they Jehovah's Witness?
I don't think
Because
so,
she
but
was covered head to toe. Like,
she's
she
been
was,
in, like, she's been like that more as she's gotten older, because she used to wear like little midriffs and stuff like that, like, you know, like the girly pops. But I will say, I feel like I will dedicate that to how her mother just, no, you not showing your ass out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? And Ray J showed his ass enough for everybody. So I think that she's just trying to
stay out of the way.
sitting up in my room.
I noticed that. I said, wow, she's very modest. And it gave me a new perspective on females and how, like we talked about this before, how we're sexualized and how in order to be considered like, in order to be considered, sexy, or in order to be considered desirable, we have to, not have to, but society will make you feel like you have to run around on stage in a leotard.
Yeah.
When Brandy and Monica had on like
Turtlenecks, child.
full suits and
Right.
trench coats and a vest on top of the trench coat. Like, it was like they had on a lot of clothes, but
Yeah.
honestly, it took nothing away from the performance. The outfits were cute. I liked them. Certain stuff I'm like, I wouldn't wear that in public, but it was cute for, the
Yeah.
performance.
Yeah.
And then Kelly was on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, right? Showing everything. But when I tell you, Kelly body is so T.
Girl, she must be in the daggone gym with Sierra because of tip.
I don't know what it is. And some people are just, they just they can do that,
Naturally
right?
athletic. Yeah. Have an
Yeah.
athletic build.
And I
Yeah.
definitely see that in her. But I was like, man, she looks so good. And Kelly, I know everybody has been saying this, but like seeing her, I'm like, Kelly is so pretty. Like, what I mean by that is I don't feel like she had on a lot of makeup. I'm pretty sure she had on something, but her makeup was not very dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
And just looking at her facial features, like it's different when you're posing for a picture and you're trying to look cute than when you're
Yeah.
singing and you're making ugly faces while you hitting the note or you got your head back or whatever.
Yeah.
Like when you're doing different things and your face is in a natural state, to still see the beauty in it, to
Yeah.
me, that is when somebody is truly beautiful. Like you could be
Mm-hmm.
making any kind of crazy face, but you still look
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's what I mean when I say Kelly is so pretty. Like
Mm-hmm.
even when she was trying to make like a little stink face, I was like, you can't it don't even really hit the
It don't
same
even look. It
because you
don't even.
cute. So
Right.
it's like,
You
what are
too
you
cute for that.
doing? You know what I
Right. You're too
mean?
cute for that.
I can't even take you serious. Like, so anyway, that's my critique of it. I had a great time. Somebody said on TikTok, I had seen somebody do their little review of it, and she said she hung around outside of the venue for a while because she just didn't want the show to be over. She wasn't ready to go home. And I get that. Like when it was over, it was like, dang. It's just like you wasn't ready for it to be over.
Right.
It was
Right.
just so good. So
Nice. I'm glad you were able to go.
I really enjoyed that. Um, Anyway, there's still more to dig into, but I'll save it for next week because we already an hour and 15 minutes in. I did go see Wicked, but I'll save my review.
Okay.
And I know you're not watching Stranger Things, or are you? I figured you would. It's not even scary, but I was like, this is gonna be too scary for her. She's not watching it.
And you know me.
So we'll talk about. I'll get into it next week because at this point, it's nothing really to rush and run and go tell about it. I have my
Mm-hmm.
thoughts, but I'll save them.
Okay.
Um, what do you have? Any trending topics or anything coming up? Anything
No,
we didn't cover this week?
I think the girly pops have been kind of quiet with the holiday.
Nothing's been going on. I saw Meg cooking for her man.
I mean, man was had that man ready to go to bed. The fact that his father was like, "All black women know how to cook." So your wife is white.
I didn't see him say that.
He said on the podcast, it was like because the guy
But
was like,
Clay
"Oh,
is
everybody
mixed
get
with
time."
black and white, right?
Yes.
So Clay's so not so his dad's wife is a white woman, but Clay's mom is a black woman.
No.
Wait.
The
I'm
father's black.
confused.
The mother
Oh,
is
the father is
Caucasian.
black. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought the father was white. I didn't see the father.
Yes, he was on the podcast, and they was like, "Well, what's going on for Thanksgiving?" He was like, "Yeah, Meg's doing the." I thought she was just doing the turkey, and he was like, "Uh oh, get somebody say, oh, get your mouth belly." He was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." He's like, "All black women know how to cook. Have you been in a black woman's kitchen?" And I said, "Oh," and somebody was like, "Do he know that his wife is white?" I said, "Oh,"
Well, he said, I've been living off bland chicken.
and she cooked everything. She fixed turkey, mac and cheese, beef. Like she cooked everything. And when
I
I said
saw her video. I was like,
when
okay, Meg.
when she was when you saw his plate and you saw him, he looked just like this. He looked like he was about to be in a coma.
And rightfully so.
And
Meg said
rightfully
she's trying to
so.
get that ring. And I don't blame her.
She said, "I'm tired of playing with you Negroes. I got to get me a heroes." You hear me?
Period. I just
Shoot.
hope, and I don't want to speak negativity over her life, but I really just it'd be like I don't know. I just hope that this thing works out for her. I really
You
do.
know what I see though, and I hope and I agree. It reminds me a lot of Sierra and Russell, where I could tell he loves her whole lot more than she. Not that she
But
don't.
you know what though? I felt the same way about Monica and Shannon. Like when they first started, everybody was so happy for them. They loved it for
Hmm.
her. It
Hmm.
seemed so beautiful. And I feel like the same thing about Lala. and her ex-husband.
Carmelo.
Carmelo, is that right?
Yeah, Carmelo Anthony.
Okay. It just, it be that moment. And when I say that moment, this could be anywhere from like 1 to 8 years, where it's like, we love it for you, everything's flowing, everything's working, and then some bullshit happens. And I know that can happen whether it's a celebrity or not.
Yeah.
But I feel like Meg has been through so much that, like, I just hope that this isn't one of those scenarios where.
And that's the thing. I think the difference might be sometimes, like, Monica will always, she is Monica, right? But in the time that she was big, but she's never been like, she's always been big, but like I can see like how Sierra is doing, like she does other things.
Yeah.
Right. So she's a multi-mogul type of situation, right? And she's always been doing other things. So with her and Russell from the beginning and until, like, you could see that she's always going to be who she is, and you could see him doing more of the changing.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like with Clay, I think it's the same thing. Like, I haven't seen anything on Meg I haven't seen her change anything about herself that is like, now you look at him and it's like, oh, it's because he's making her, she's wearing more clothes, she's doing this, or she's still who she is through it all. I think with Lala and Carmelo, she was supposed to stay medium
who she
size,
was, but she evolved.
and she got a lot bigger. And in that, depending on the type of man that you have, when you have somebody who holds value to status and his own status, it's difficult, especially like when you're dealing with somebody who, I ain't gonna say they are or not in the church, but you could just tell the difference in like the humbleness of it all.
Yeah.
And the wanting to serve. And I know Carmelo, he don't have that. He's not that guy. And I don't know too much about Shannon, but it don't seem like he, you know what I'm saying? It's just a different type of God-fearing type of, it's just something inside, but I hope so for her too.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. You need a man with a little bit ugly.
I do. Yeah. I mean, it's funny that you say that, because I do think he's like a little bit ugly. Like, he's cute,
he's cute,
but he has his moments.
It's
It'd be like, don't get too full of yourself, because you're okay. Like, you cute, but you got a little something weird about your face.
That nose is a little too straight. It's just a little too, Russell, your nose a little too wide. You know what I'm saying? It's just a little too something.
Maybe that's what keeps them humble, that little bit of ugliness.
That's what you need. Carmelo was too cute. Shannon was too cute.
That's probably what it was. Anyway, was that another great episode?
That was always another great episode. Make sure you
like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Drop down in them comments. How was your Thanksgiving? Clinks.